With us now from Washington, CBS News political director John Dickerson. John, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie.
Tell us more about the timing of the president's, what he said on Friday afternoon.
Well, you know, this president, we've seen him throughout his presidency. He doesn't jump quickly into the middle of a moment. And usually people call on him to say something, and he's patient. As Bill mentioned, he was expecting to be asked about this in an interview, which gives you some sense of the way they wanted to play this. He wanted to speak. He'd been watching the reaction to this from the minute this incident occurred. He'd been talking about it with friends and family. Then when the verdict happened, he'd been paying attention to it. He wanted to say something, but in a kind of a low-key way. When it didn't come up in those interviews, he brought it up himself. He said, I want to talk about this, and they did it on Friday.
And John, the substance of the president's remarks, it was interesting here the president used the word context 4 times, and also to talk about the pain that exists in the African American or black community.
It was a very tricky job here to do this, and he did it without notes. He wanted to speak from the heart, from his own personal experience as an African American. That was one role, but his other role was as a president, both walking a line between the African American community and the white community, but also, as Gwen mentioned, working as a bridge between the two. Very tricky there, but then also acting as the law professor, saying, I'm not questioning the verdict or the system. It was a multifaceted effort here that he was trying to do, and when I talked to aides inside the White House, they said basically he was making a version of the gamble he made when he started to run for president in the first place, which is, as an African American, there would be an audience who would hear what he had to say and not judge him just based on the color of his skin.
John, I want to switch now to the next presidential race in 2016. As you know, our CBS This Morning national correspondent Jan Crawford got a really rare chance to speak with the governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, over the weekend. He was at this event promoting tourism in the Adirondacks. Let's listen to what he told Jan about whether he may run for president.
Your name is often mentioned as someone that could be on a national stage, maybe running for president. Is that something you're thinking about?
Not at all.
Not thinking about running for president. Are you going to? Are you going to think about it at some point?
I spent 8 years in Washington with Bill Clinton. I was the HUD secretary, Housing and Urban Development secretary. I had a lot of fun doing that. But I really love what I'm doing now. And I tend to be one of those personalities that stays focused on what they're doing. And I am focused on being the best governor that I can be.
What's your read on that, John?
Well, the first thing you want to do when you're running for president is say that you're focused on your current job.
Exactly.
And so whether he's thinking about it or not, he has hit the perfect target for leaving the door open. He's focused at the moment, but that doesn't mean tomorrow he couldn't be focused on something else. And so he's crossed that threshold. But obviously in the Democratic race, the big hurdle for anybody is Hillary Clinton.
Doing a good job for the people of New York, as they say.
Yes. John, thank you.